He didn't deny it, and that was worse because if he had argued, if he had said I was wrong, maybe I would have questioned it. Maybe I would have hesitated, but he didn't. And that told me everything. Before the conversation even started, I wasn't planning to say anything that night. That was the plan, just go home. Process everything, figure it out later. But something about that drive felt different. It was too quiet. Not the comfortable kind. Not the kind you don't even notice this one. You feel it every second of it. We had just left. Everything looked normal on the outside. Same routine, same way to the car, same way he opened the door, same way he started driving. Like nothing had changed, and that's what made it worse. Because I was sitting there with everything in my head and he was just normal, one hand on the wheel, eyes on the road, talking about something small, something that didn't matter. And I really tried to stay in that moment, to respond, to act like I always do, but I couldn't because every word he said felt disconnected, like it didn't belong anymore. And I kept thinking, how is he acting like this? How is he so calm after everything I just saw? And the more I sat there, the more I realized this wasn't just about what I saw. It was about everything that didn't make sense before starting to make sense now. And that's a dangerous place because your mind doesn't stay in the present. It goes back. It starts replaying things, small things you didn't question at the time, but now they feel different. I remember the night not long before that when he was on his phone smiling, not in a big way, just subtle. And when I asked what it was, he said, it was nothing, just something random. And I believed him because there was no reason not to. When I was sitting there in that car, that moment came back clear, too clear, and it didn't feel random anymore. It felt connected, and that's what changes everything, not the discovery itself, but what it connects to, because suddenly it's not one moment. It's a pattern, and patterns are harder to ignore. And I started wondering how many times that happened, how many small moments I let go because they didn't seem important. And the thought stays because it doesn't just change how you see them. It changes how you see yourself, what you accepted, what you overlooked, what you chose not to question. And I wasn't blaming myself. Not in that moment, but I was aware, and awareness is uncomfortable. Because once you have it, you can't go back to not knowing. And I looked at him just for a second. Not enough for him to notice, but enough for me to see him differently. Not as someone I fully understood anymore, but as someone who had a part I never saw or maybe never wanted to see. And that shift is quiet, but it's permanent because it doesn't come from emotion. It comes from clarity, and clarity doesn't go away. And the silence in the car kept stretching longer, heavier, like both of us were in the same space, but not in the same reality. And I could feel that question building again, stronger now, clear, not emotional, not reactive, just direct. And that's when I knew I wasn't going to let this pass, not this time. Because if I stayed quiet after that, I would be choosing not to see it, even after seeing it. And that felt worse than whatever answer I was about to hear. So I stopped thinking about how to say it. I stopped trying to find the right moment because there isn't one. There's just the moment you decide. And I think that's what changed everything, not what he did, not what I saw, but the fact that I was finally going to say it out loud. And once that thought became real, everything else fell into place. The silence, the tension, the timing, it all led to that one question. And there was no way around it anymore. And maybe that's the answer. He didn't know, he had no idea what I had already seen, what I had already read, what I couldn't unsee. And that thought kept repeating in my head over and over. He doesn't know, he doesn't know, he doesn't know. And then it hit me. This was the only moment where I had the control, not control over him, but over the truth. I could say it or I could keep it, and once I said it, there was no going back. Everything would change. The silence got heavier and he noticed it. I could tell because he stopped talking just for a second and glanced at me, not fully, just quick, like checking. And then he looked back at the road, and that small moment, that tiny reaction was enough to push me just a little closer to saying something. My heart started racing, not fast, but steady, like building up. And I could feel that moment getting closer, the point where you either speak or you don't. And I remember looking out the window, trying to ground myself. Street lights passing one after another. Everything felt slow, like time stretched, just enough to make you feel everything. And I asked myself, do I say it now? Do I wait? Do I pretend like nothing happened? But I already knew I wasn't going to be able to pretend. Not after that, not after what I saw. And I think that's when I stopped trying to avoid it and just accepted this was going to happen right here in this car, in the middle of a normal drive. And that's how it always happens. Not in a dramatic moment, not in a perfect setup, just in between. And I didn't plan the words. I didn't rehearse anything. I just said it quietly, almost too calm. Who is she? And the moment those words left my mouth, everything changed. Not outside, inside the car, everything stayed the same. Engine, road lights. But inside, something shifted completely, and he didn't answer. Not right away. There was a pause just long enough to notice, just long enough to feel. And in that pause, I wasn't even looking at him. I was just listening, waiting. And that silence said more than anything else. Because if it was nothing, there wouldn't be a pause. If it didn't matter, he would have answered instantly, but he didn't. And that told me everything. And when he finally spoke, it wasn't defensive, it wasn't aggressive, it wasn't even a denial. It was calm to calm. Like he had already accepted that this moment was inevitable. And that's what caught me off guard, because I expected something else, an excuse, confusion, pushback, something, but not that. Not that quiet, controlled response. And that's when it hit harder than anything. He wasn't surprised, he wasn't shocked, he wasn't trying to hide, he just didn't deny it. And that changes everything, because when someone denies, there's still something to fight, something to question, something to break through. But when they don't, when they just accept it in that quiet way, there's nothing left. No illusion, no doubt, just the truth sitting there between you. And I remember finally looking at him, really looking, and he didn't look back, not fully. His eyes stayed on the road, and that said even more. Because now it wasn't just words, it was everything. The silence, the posture, the lack of reaction. It all confirmed what I already knew, and I didn't say anything else. Not because I didn't have more to say, but because there was nothing left that needed to be said. That moment answered everything. And the rest of the drive was different, not tense, not loud, just empty. Like something had ended without a clear moment, without a scene, without a closure. Just a quiet understanding that nothing was the same anymore. And I sat there thinking not about what he said, but about what he didn't, because sometimes that's where the truth is, not in the explanation, not in the details, but in the absence of denial. And I realized something in that moment. I didn't need more. I didn't need a full story. I didn't need answers. I already had enough. And that's a strange feeling, because you think you'll want explanations, you think you'll want to understand everything, but when it actually happens, sometimes you just know, and that knowing is heavier than any answer. And when we got home, Nothing dramatic happened. No argument, no scene, just silence and distance, like two people sharing a space, but not the same reality anymore. And I think that was the real moment, not when I asked, not when he answered, but when I realized this wasn't something I could ignore or go back from. And everything after that was just consequence. And the more I replay that moment, the more I realize it wasn't just about what he did or what I saw. It was about that exact second when everything became clear without needing to be explained. Because there's a difference between suspecting something and knowing. And once you cross that line, you don't go back. You don't see the person the same way again. You don't hear their words the same way. Everything changes quietly but permanently. And I think that's what stayed with me the most. Not the confrontation, not the answer, but the certainty that came with it. So tell me, if you were in that car in that exact moment, would you have asked or would you have stayed quiet and waited a little longer?